What we are seeing in Mali right now is not jihadist or terrorist. This is actually a NATO army disguised as Tuareg rebels and JNIM fighters. We're actually witnessing what we saw in Libya. This time around, they are trying to use proxies. In Libya, they were there in their own name. Yeah, they didn't need proxy in Libya because they told their story. They have a plausible reason why they should invade Libya because they say Gaddafi is a threat. But what can you say about Assimi Goïta? Is Assimi Goïta a threat to the Western order? That is why they have to come through the back door using these non-state actors to achieve the same thing that they achieved in Libya and in Syria. But this time around, it's not going to work out for them. Apart from the weapons with NATO origin that was captured.
Publicly, everyone knows that also Laura Loomer has been stalking me. But I've been telling you guys, my real stalker in life is Ben Shapiro, okay? Since the day that I was fired from the Daily Wire, he has not stopped trying to bankrupt my family. It is almost comical at this point. We've learned to just laugh at it. It never goes away. We were laughing at the fact that he's just kind of allowed to pretend to be this normal public figure, but he's low-key a deranged stalker. And like he just sort of hides behind it, tries to dignify the stalking through legal filings. It's like, oh no, it's fine that we sent an intern to follow her at her event after we followed her. That was after we fired her. That was our right. It's fine if we keep just using legal abuse as a strategy. And I mean, for every little infraction, like they were monitoring my likes. Back when you could see likes on X, I was facing serious lawsuits over you liked this tweet and it was a bit disparaging to us. Stalker, just full-blown stalker vibes.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Sahel Revolution. Today we're going to talk about something interesting happening in the Sahel right now. I think you guys remember what happened, the terrorists attacking early in the morning, in the early hours, attacking 6 cities in Mali, and one of them is where our wonderful, brave warrior, Sadio Kamara, was unalive. And this is the city of Kati, and I think that is actually the only city where they are right now. The other city has been taken over again. Like they couldn't hold on power because, I mean, you know what I mean, right? Now, Kati is actually, right now what's happening in Kati, and I'm going to allow my wonderful brother Emmanuel. I told you guys you need to follow that channel because sooner or later I'm going to go back to why this channel was created. It wasn't created for news and so on. It was created to talk about our Black consciousness, our Black heritage, our culture, Black pride and all that. But as soon as they started wanting to assassinate Ibrahim Traore, I'm like, you know what? I need to be part of those people who is actually helping Africans awaken from their sleep, because we are really asleep, to be quite honest. Because if we have only 3 countries right now making headlines for African dignity while we have 54 countries, I mean, come on. Well, I can add Botswana and Namibia, and not necessarily because I'm Namibian. If it was the previous presidents of Namibia, I wouldn't even count Namibia. But the new president, the new female president, I have to say female, not necessarily because she's female, but because I'm just proud that this wonderful female president is making headlines for all the right reasons. Anyway, let's go back to Kati. Now, remember, this is the Sahel Alliance, right? So the Western media wanted to create this narrative that, oh no, now Russia is, abandoning Mali, and Mali is probably gonna chase the Russians out, and also that the Sahel Alliance is just kind of in words. They are not gonna probably help each other or stand there for each other. But you know what? They proved them wrong, because I'm telling you, these terrorists, and I'm going to call them terrorists, okay? I'm not going to soften it with, oh no, they are rebels, freedom fighters. What the heck? My goodness, these people unalive a minister of defense in Mali. And you are telling me that apparently we have to say freedom fighters? Freedom fighters, freedom for who? To be quite honest, freedom for who? Because these people, when you look even in the videos and so on, are like the Arabs looking people who actually have a lot of maybe Malians, under them, probably trying to ignite what they call protesting. This fake protests that they usually do, so that kind of the world can say that, oh no, it's actually Malians who doesn't want, the president and so on. But that's a lie, obviously. We know that nonsense. My goodness, Africans are awakening, and I'm so proud of that. Anyway, so now they're actually stuck in that city. So they are actually stuck in Kati because they are circled, Burkina Faso on this side, Niger on the other side. My goodness, they can go out. Anyway, let me just allow Ezekiel to kind of give you a brief description of what's going on there. Take a listen.
As I speak to you now, Mopti is calm. The same Mopti that was for 15 years the most troublesome region in the whole of the country. The same Mopti the French media wrote off as ungovernable by the African Initiative own reporting. FAMA and Africa Corps Joint Patrols along the Niger River Valley have identified no consolidated militant presence in Menaka. The patrols are routine. The Bamako curfew was lifted on May 3. The 100 fuel tanker, 50 food truck convoy, they moved on Bamako-Kolani-Kuala route on May 3 with no incident whatsoever. The garrison towns are under intensified surveillance. Local civilian defense-style monitoring groups are screening every unusual movement during the day. The Southern Mopti Severus Segu corridor, that is the corridor France could not pacify, could not secure in 11 years, is now under joint AES patrol. Read that carefully, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we call coordination between the Alliance of Sahel States. The blockade headline does not survive the reality on the ground. The blockade is an information war campaign. The reality is a country that is consolidating their own rear before the final phase of the operation. Now, Kidal itself, because Kidal is no longer a city under siege by Mali. Kidal is now a kill box. The fighters are currently trapped inside Kidal. They cannot move north. The Algerian corridor is closed by AES air power, and Mali is out of the joint committee with Algeria. They cannot move west either. The Mauritanian corridor was already sealed by May 1 strike that destroyed about 200 reinforcements before they even reached the line of contact. They can't even move east because the Niger Air Force is over the eastern front. They can't move south. Mopti and the Niger River Valley are under joint patrol. The desert terrain that used to be their refuge is now the same terrain that exposes them, because nothing moves across that terrain without leaving a thermal signature, and nothing leaves a thermal signature without showing up on AES surveillance followed by airstrikes. It is a complete blockade. They either surrender or get neutralized. Some fighters are trying to leave Kida as I speak to you. They are now disguising as ordinary civilians, hiding their rifles and their uniforms, walking out as if they were displaced families. But the local communities, they know each other. Strangers are now identified within hours. By the Africa Corps debrief, capture by Russian force is the outcome these fighters fear the most. Yeah, they don't want to be captured by Russia. The wounded cannot be treated inside an encircled city. The drugs that some of these fighters take before battle to reduce pain and fear, and we have seen the captured fighter footage of the disoriented, drugged up assaulters from the April 25th wave. Those drugs do not work on a man who has been pinned for 9 days inside a city with no road out. They will run out of drug and they will be mortal. Like, they will feel pain, they will feel fear. Because that drug makes them not to feel fear and pain. But 9 days is enough without supply to be normal and to be human. It's what I call a kill box. It is what it's looking like right now. It's not even a metaphor. It is simply geography. You cannot escape.
Yeah, so telling you, I am so happy. Now, let's talk about something else that not talk about my girl for a long time, and I think you know exactly who I'm referring to every time when I say my girl. I know she's a mother to 4 children. She's obviously not that young, but I think in an African, should I say, culture, when somebody is younger than you like that, she's my girl. So I think you guys all know I'm talking to Candace. Now let's talk about Candace and Ben Shapiro. What's going on? Because Ben Shapiro feels like that crazy, sociopathic lover who doesn't want to let you go. it's either his way or the highway. It's either if he can have you, no one can have you. Because I mean, seriously, I want you to listen to Candace on describing what's going on. And I'm telling you, Candace got in trouble way back when she said Christ is king. And now Christ, who is obviously king, is defending her. Let's take a listen.
Take a listen to him over just these last few months.
So here's the thing. Theo Vaughn is a low IQ conspiracist. He has himself routinely propped up Candace Owens. He has lent credence to her insanity. Theo Vaughn is basically just a Bernie Sanders leftist who does not like the censorious impulses of the left and engages in all the same conspiracy theories and, of course, is good friends with Candace Owens and all of the rest of it. And yes, Erica Kirk absolutely should sue the living hell out of Candace Owens for this sort of stuff.
Right,
well, Michael,
whatever.
I'll just ask you straight up. Is Candace Owens doing something evil by attacking Erica Kirk?
I think that it's wrong to attack Erica Kirk.
No, say the sentence with her name in it.
I'm not going to dance like a puppet for the podcast wars.
I think that what Candace Owens is doing right now is evil. It is evil what she is doing right now. Okay, and I say that again.
But what?
Because
like I didn't opine on whether it's evil or not, but my position is it's really none of my business. And
why is it? But I have a question. Why is it none of your business? I mean, you comment on these things for a living.
I'm not mother of the internet.
No, but if this were on the left and somebody were accusing Charlie Kirk of his wife having murdered him, I assume that you would be talking about it.
Is that what Candace is accusing Erica of?
Yes. Of course, the issue here is not just that Megyn Kelly has some questionable principles and has been programming directly into the Groyper right. It is that she remains a coward. Remember, this is still the woman who says she is friends with Candace Owens.
So no, Tucker Carlson, it is not an excuse to go silent on Candace's targeting of TPUSA or to mirror her bullshit lines of questioning because you love Candace personally. The same holds true of Megyn Kelly.
I mean, it's just not normal. Right? It's just not normal to go after Theo Vaughn. Everybody loves Theo Vaughn. He's just a person that everybody loves, but he just goes, Theo Vaughn is friends with Candace Owens, and I therefore hate him and I want to destroy him, and every person has to want to destroy her and join this team. You can't have those sorts of people in the boardroom. Your company will eventually destroy itself. Now, if the employees found out on Friday that the company could no longer afford to sustain them, then we can reasonably assume that Ben, who's a part owner of the company, knew months ahead. And so what you're looking at there is that with his dying corporate breath, what he wanted was to come after me, me. And that is not to say that people turned away from him because people don't like political beef, right? It's not like there's tons of political beef. I have political beef with people. People actually have proven they have a high appetite for back and forth drama, left versus right, women versus men, whatever it is, whatever the prevailing narrative is of the day. And what people have proven that they have no appetite for is perfidy, right? Treachery, deceit, betrayal against your own. Ben trying to destroy me, trying to destroy Megyn Kelly, that means trying to destroy a former colleague and someone like Megyn Kelly, who he said was his friend. That is perfidious. There's no other way to say that. Ben seeking to publicly humiliate Michael Knowles, say her name. There is something about that makes the public naturally recoil, right? Because it demonstrates that you have no honor, you have no dignity, you have no loyalty.
So, having listened to that, I'm like, this is like, I think Ben Shapiro is being this, like, weird, diabolical, sociopathic, crazy lover. That I don't even know how to describe it. It's almost like if I can have you, then no one can have you. Like, literally, this guy has been stalking Candace ever since he fired her. Obviously, I think you know the story that Candace was working for Daily Wires, and it's funny, at the time when she was like, when we were feeling like she was putting black people down, I do probably agree to some of the things she said, but obviously not everything, meaning that I have some things that I agree with Candace, but not everything. But obviously, in that, I agree with Candace like 80% of like the time, most of the time. However, when she was talking about black people, in a way that sounded like she was really against black people, which I now understand to a certain level now that I got to know most black Americans, especially the way they talk about Africans. I kind of understand now. So having said that, but as soon as she started talking about the country that we can mention, unless you want your account to be completely closed, which is, I don't even know how to say it, Israelo, I would have to say that. I think you guys know which country I'm referring to, right? As soon as she started talking about Israelo, now she was like fired, to be quite honest. Like, that's the honest truth. Anyway, guys, take care and see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Kelly said to the Silamu,